Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are going to be continuing here today. It has been rather amusing because it's like we're not too sure really how things proceed after the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. It's just like we're not fully sure how you go forward, really. But it seems if I read the chat here, one sec. So Plumber said, I can't do anything. Looks like the pain is over. You never captured Kiev, Moscow, or Petrograd, so bonus points for me. Which is good. And he's right. But then again, I will counter that we got to the outskirts of Petrograd. And, yeah. We didn't come exactly too far away from capturing the other ones, but yeah. It's been a good spot. Honestly, I think Plumber did a great job. I think he definitely had it against him. It was a very tall order to ask. Now, the the game itself has always been friendly, so this is it really. Had Plumber been more practiced with Russia, then obviously things would have been different. But Season 2, things will be different, so we'll see about that. Alright, so what I'm doing here is we do have our forces returning from the east, where they can. A decent measure of them. I am going to have them, I don't know, honestly, it's going to be rather interesting to see what happens. But we kind of have almost all the manpower in the world now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm trying not to be gamey. I'd probably like to keep like a good amount of forces in the east, but we'll see. We'll see. Decided to go ahead and raise more divisions as well. So we're looking pretty good there. And I do have some ships heading over here to Aba. So they can join transport ships essentially. Just the Gross. Yeah. Kaiser Wilhelm de Gross. I'm gonna great basically. How you doing there, D? Good to have you, my man. Austria's alignment is at 44, which is not particularly ideal. But it's not gonna get worse by any other measure now, other than the ones that we're used to. So I guess we'll see, really. I do wonder what will happen the following turn. And obviously we do have the revolution. I mean, Russia's collapsed this turn, so we'll see what happens. But essentially, yeah, I'm going to see if I can bring the Germans back from Helsinki. I'm hoping that these mines will clear away. I'm hoping that they will do. I did have a question regarding actually whether I can take more in the Caucasus, and I guess I'll try. I don't know. Plumber said he can't do anything, so who knows how it works in the future now. But yeah, we'll go forward like this. I do have forces moving. Essentially over here. Kind of just waiting for a good opportunity to push on the French. Hey, Dana, you good to have you, my man. Yeah, but I'm looking pretty good here. I've set forces over here just to basically remain in position. What we're going to do then is give our men the time to rest here. And then prepare for the next offensive. So we'll move forward into the turn here. Hey, Dana Brooks. Yeah, the Russians finally realized they were dead, which is ideal. I'm a big fan of that. Oh, that's fine now, Hugh. I hope it's going alright. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we had the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, but I don't know what happens. I don't know if we see like Poland or the Baltic States, or Ukraine. I really don't know what happens next. I guess we'll see, really. I guess obviously you wouldn't see these states established immediately, but I guess we'll see what happens. I do wonder if we'll see any sort of French counterattacks. I'm probably going to say no. It's going to be a very quick turn, I think, unless there is some battle here. We can see there's reinforcing his men over there. He may have been afraid that we would attack him. Honestly, that's South West Africa. Sorry, South East Africa, sorry. West, sorry, I should say. Gosh, I can't speak. Alright. So he is moving his forces over here. That's fine. Honestly, the British forces over here in Mesopotamia aren't going to really be able to do all that much. Yeah, there we go. That's a very, very, very quick turn. Yeah, I can imagine that, no. But there we are. I mean, this is it. If we don't have the action on the east, we have some very quick turns. But we'll see. I really hope we gain some morale, but I don't know. No, we lose a little bit of morale there, war weariness. Let's see then. So we have Kornilov event, which was played over here then. I don't know if it makes any difference at all. Yes. Our forces didn't move for some reason. How interesting. Huh. Oh, right, that's... right, of course. Yes, they weren't on the rail line, were they? So they have moved out. That's good then. So, we'll go ahead and bring more forces. And yes, we are dealing with the Italian front over here. And my god, they're going to be overmatched. It does appear that everybody is not active right now. Which, honestly, I could have done when they're being active. But, seriously... Alright, okay, I was going to say, we should have some active corps commanders somewhere. And indeed we do. Yeah. We should... Even Mackinson's not active. That's surprising. Yeah, there we are. I just need to organise with these guys over here. But yeah, we'll be pressing forward then into Venice. Sorry, into the Venetian region. Through the Po Valley, basically. We are actually seeing some clear weather over here, which is pretty ideal. Oh, this is interesting. So the forts appear empty. That's interesting. Whoops. In that case, then, don't mind if I do. We'll try and move forward pretty rapidly, then, if we can get them relatively easily. It may take some time for their garrison to appear, but I'm not seeing anything here. In which case, I'm going to be very, very happy. We're going to put the commanders in here. I can, of course, just reorganize these things as we go. 14 days to be in that position there due to them being active. Let's go. It should be a fairly quick thrust there into Italy, though, which is going to be ideal. Alright. You'll have to remind me of his exact name. I think everybody has the name Kamal. Right, so we do have our forces over here. But yeah, it does indeed look like they're, in fact, empty. But I have the forces over here. So honestly, we can push through that. It's a damn shame that I don't have an active commander over here. It doesn't particularly help me. But I do have a commander over here. He's also a Alpine Jäger tactician, so that's not terrible. Yeah, had they been active, that would have been far better. Yeah, that's slowing them down considerably there. Of course, there's always somebody who's not active. Or at least a good chunk of them that are not active when you need them to be active. But hey-ho. Let me see here. What's your seniority? 93. Have some heavy guns over here. Alright, he takes charge. I need them to not take charge. I need him in charge. Or look at seniority 70. I don't know how it works sometimes. Is it their rank? They're both of equal ranks. I'm not sure why one's taking control here. I'm not too sure. Anyhow, if I can have it reinforced, it's not too bad. What I could potentially do here then... What do I have in the core? I have some medium artillery there. What I can do then... Take these divisions. And we'll go with that for now. Maybe I should place more men over here, but yeah, it's okay. We'll have more men on the way. Al-Mustafa Pasha or Ghazi Kamal. Alright, okay. I'll have to find him later on, actually. Yeah, maybe I moved too many forces over here to the north. Yeah, we have a decent amount of artillery over here. And we have Eugene von Osterreich. Honestly, I really could have done with these guys being, you know, active right now, but hey, that's fine. Alright, let me see here. He's active, he's also active, so I'll take these active commanders over here then. As long as I can get them there, that is all that matters. Just move quickly. And the rest will flow into place. "16 days. It's a shame that they can't quite make it there. Where? Ah, I see. Honestly, we've got quite a few good commanders over here as well, which is pretty handy. Yeah, welcome to the war. It's a fairly hefty force imbalance, I would say. Just needed some active commanders, but at least I have some commanders here that are active, so that's okay by me. As long as we can get on top of these fortresses, I will be pretty happy. Alright, I've got some active commanders here. I think I'll leave the Bulgarians here then just to hold this position. But yeah, we're looking at a considerable amount of force moving down there. Obviously, I've got quite a few over here. I kind of expected there to be something on the front, and there is. There's just not a great deal of power, but we'll be quite happy to move through that. Ah, yes, look at that. Yeah, the mines are gone. That's brilliant. So it does confirm the theory that if you actually get rid of certain areas or take certain cities, then the mines will disappear. But there we are. We have our men here. So we'll go ahead and have them sent, I believe, back to Germany, I would say. Yeah, that's 260,000 men there. They did a very good job. We do have revolutionary... Yeah. I guess a provisional government for now. Do you have another army over here? Really, all that matters for me is taking control of the rail line. Rail lines are definitely king. We are seeing the poor weather, but if we can actually move into the Italian lands over here, that'd be ideal. Yeah. And we do already have men on the way. There's an Austrian corps there, another Austrian corps. We're seeing a couple Bulgarians over here. Yeah, seeing some Austrian forces. Seeing a Austrian army there on its way too. We do have Germans on the way to the Western Front. Yeah. I don't know, what would be nice is maybe if it took away like a considerable amount of conscripts or war supply and had it as like a garrison in the east sort of cost. I'm not sure. I mean, we have a lot of war supply here. So let's take a look then. I can see that we've been receiving replacements, yeah, over here in the west. That's great news. So he has his forces over here then. I can see there's a force over here, cavalry and supply. He's not actually moved to retake Sedan here. Maybe we'll take a look if we have any choices. I just have Lenin. I don't know why I'd even send Lenin at this point. Yeah. Nothing there related to the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. I guess we'll see what happens. I can take the regions over here away from the rebels. And we're currently moving towards Kyiv. Honestly, there's just so little left here. It is nice to see that these areas that we did take are still under Central Powers command, control, I should say. Yeah. Let's see. And we have finally gained Azerbaijan over here, actually. It'd be funny if you don't send Lenin, the Mensheviks take control and attack you like they planned. Yeah, I'm sure that'd go great. Can I? Oh, I can get to Baku. Okay, I guess we'll try. Why not? Enjoy the the bounties over here. I'll continue to capture Russian territory out here then, just really out of curiosity more than anything else, actually. Yeah, the mines are gone over here now. We're moving Romanian forces down here then to secure Sevastopol. I don't know, it really does make you wonder what would happen. It'd be rather interesting to see the rise of some army, like rebel forces. Wow, we are still losing planes like crazy. How many men does it... Oh, it's over here, actually. Okay, this makes sense. That makes sense. These are just our reconnaissance. These are the enemy fighters, then. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Right. We do have our fighters over here at Vienna. Get them to the front ASAP. I have more fighters over here in Frankfurt. Yeah, they were. Oh, I always read joined and then on. Yeah, Central Powers, but yes. So Italy has joined the Central Powers. Fuck, I wish. Has joined the Entente. Right, okay. Charles Hughes. Okay. The USA election of 1916 was very close, with Charles Hughes represented the Republican Party against the incumbent Democrat Woodrow Wilson. Wilson had begun supporting a stronger line against Germany and the Central Powers, and his election would increase the American support for the war, whereas Hughes' election would likely weaken American support for the Entente. So it occurs automatically on November 7th, 1916. There's a percentage chance equal to the Central Powers alignment in the US that Hughes will win, otherwise Wilson will win. If Hughes win, there's a 5% shift in the USA towards the Central Powers. If Wilson wins, there's a 10% shift. Oh, fantastic, then. So we do have an alternate history, then. We do have Charles Hughes become the president here, rather than Woodrow Wilson. So the US is not likely to be joining anytime soon. Brilliant, okay. I see no mention of Russia here now. Who knows? Maybe we'll see the situation develop as it goes on. Who knows? Okay. So it just means that we are now down to the west. Working on Persia, that's going well. Fairly quickly, actually. Yeah. I was really hoping that we'd gain something from the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, but hey, guess not. Can't use gas willy-nilly. And it's going to be a long winter now. It indeed will be a long winter. But not for the Entente. We are going to see where we can attack, and I'm going to try and pressure Nomadic as much as we possibly can, really. The beauty is the fact that, well, we're going to have another 260,000 men heading this way. I did send these forces over here to take command from the rebels, so we have, like, the entirety of Finland under our command here. But indeed... Honestly, I'd love to land over here, but the problem is if I do land there, I'm not likely going to be getting back out. I may as well defeat the Entente in France. But you can imagine that we will have the entirety of our forces now brought to bear, or at least a reasonable majority of our forces brought to bear. The problem is that the weather is turning now. We are seeing mud out here. You can imagine that will be turning to snow very soon. We'll have to see how we can bleed the Entente. But let's take a look over here then. So the Entente is down to 52 morale. Obviously we're only at 58. Lowest we've ever been. We've suffered 3.7 million casualties. The Entente actually gained a power boost there, but that's obviously with Italy joining. Oh, so we have objectives on Roma, Trento, and Trieste. Oh, brilliant. Oh, brilliant. So we have 2 objectives there immediately within sight. That's pretty fantastic, actually. Yeah, that's really fantastic. I've got to assume that they will have some sort of garrison, otherwise it's a little unfair on him, really. But yes. I'm not too sure how many men we're looking at the invasion here. I think we're looking at a couple 100,000 men. Maybe 2, 3, 4... Maybe 500,000, if not more. It depends, really. I think a fairly considerable amount of men have fallen down now on the Italians. That's a very strong Romanian mounted division there. Indeed. I mean, that's 98,000 men there alone. This army isn't as large, but it does have artillery. We do have our commanders here. Oh, is this it? Is this him? Ferik Mustafa Kemal Pasha. Possibly so, then. There's another 75,000 men there. I mean, this is a fairly hefty amount of men. Hey, Dinahakon, good to have you, my man. Yeah, Turks in Italy. Well, I mean, we had East Africans in Finland. Yeah, we had East Africans in Finland for quite some time, actually. So really, we're just waiting upon our forces to arrive from the east. I will be looking for opportunities to launch offensives against the French. Okay, the rest of the fleet's actually going to be ready soon, which is brilliant. We'll finally have the High Seas fleet back together. I can actually have it accompanied by the Dutch as well. Speaking of, we do have our commanders over here from the Dutch East Indies. So I can make use of them now. Oh, he doesn't seem like he's, right. Anyhow, we have a true general over here. Are you going to bring most of the Eastern Front to France or Italy? To be honest, most of the Eastern Front is going to be going to Italy. The idea behind this being that, well, we have a pretty good amount of force in France, and I want to try and increase some of the German forces. I can bring the Germans from Finland as well, and that's going to help us with Mad One. But what I want to do is essentially make it very difficult for them. Make it very difficult for Nomadic, because if he feels he can transfer forces, then he will transfer forces. But if he feels he can't transfer forces, then the Italians will fall. Yeah, we're through Belgium, I'm not too sure. Honestly, we're on the other side of Belgium now. I've got a decent amount of frontage here that I can work with. We've seen that if you can concentrate enough men, enough firepower, you can break the lines. It's very bloody, and you do really have to rely upon gas, but yeah, it can be done. It's difficult for him now, because if I can bring even more men down here, I can concentrate while still holding a line. I'm just looking to actually rebuild my numbers to a degree now. Let the men recover cohesion. Which we seem to be moving towards there. Just need to gain that cohesion back. Yeah, 2 days remaining until we have our depot. Just need to have supply move to the front line. You can see here these tanks do... They very much do need rest. The beauty is this is just purely cleared terrain. So I do have some pretty decent terrain over here. Like, this is woods, but it's better... Woods and forest, but it's better than just clear. Like, this is like the worst possible ground to defend. I just need to win the goddamn air war now. I'd like to have more artillery. But of course now we are dealing with the Italians, so we'll have to respect that. But it does mean that we have the opportunity to engage. I mean, we are moving a great deal of force. I mean, over here we have 97,000 men. There's 49,000 men there. We have another 36,000, and he's now active, so I can actually increase that number if I had more men. Also you. Excellent. Place them in there together then. That brings us up to 60,000. Just about 100-odd thousand men there. Obviously in the army, decent amount there, 97 as mentioned earlier. Greece was... well, Greece was partially occupied. So the Entente occupied Salonika. We did manage to eject the Entente from France at fairly great cost. Now we're in a situation where I do want to push for the Ottomans, but I kind of want to do it when I have gas, or when there's like a fairly good opportunity for me to do so. I think I could potentially win. Yeah, it's a shame not to get that bump from Brest-Litovsk. You think there'd be something there, but I guess not. Shame. Really want to beat him there. But again, I'd then have to cross a very major river there. And that's probably not going to go too well. I wish I got the Russian fleet. Honestly, if I'd gained the Russian fleet, that would have been amazing. That the Black Sea fleet and the Baltic fleet would have been very nice. But hey-ho. At least we'll never have to fight for Kronstadt. Let's take a look over here. Regions. So we have Sedan. Yeah, you can see here we're not gaining state funds now. I have seen just the city level there. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'm not gaining anything. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, yes, there we are. Central Powers Research, which is over here. Interesting as an actual region. Let's see. So, Greece is out of the war. They weren't in the war to begin with. There was like Greek rebels in the north. So Greece is actually still neutral. Shockingly. Right, let's see. What are we looking at transport cost wise? Weight is 306. How much can I carry here? 190. Alright. So we'll have to leave behind supply for the time being. Well, actually saying that, the weight of the supply is not that large. I was saying that, but it's a fair amount of them. Oh, it's the aircraft. My god, the aircraft. Definitely. 58, my god. That is actually a fairly considerable amount there. So the weight of the army is now a mere 102 there. Okay, wow. How much can we carry? 190. 190! Wow, look at that. Almost like it's scripted. Yes, because Greece is actually still neutral. Like, this area over here was just like Greek rebels, basically. It says, yes, over here, rebels. So, it's obviously Greek land, but not considered Greece proper. Which is a shame, because we had a massive advantage with Greece, and we just weren't able to actually get them on board. Maybe one day. Alright. Okay. $120 days. They're a fair bit cheaper, actually, than this. I was thinking about building the super heavy guns, but I'm going to go ahead and commit to my old strategy of just building every single regiment of heavy artillery that you can. Luckily, we do have a lot of war supply. Obviously, that's not lasted that long, has it, really? But there we go. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regiments of heavy artillery production once again. We'll try and max out the heavy artillery pools and try and bring the amount of artillery back up to our own central power standards there, really. We're looking at 20 days and 60 days. So the High Seas Fleet is actually going to be good to go relatively soon. I may be looking to use them where I can, but that'll be a rather interesting proposition. Have them moved over to Wilhelmshaven. These will be ready soon. I do have the almost useless minesweepers. I still can't figure out really how I should be using them. It feels like they're just not being used properly. Yeah, so we'll have our fleet move out. That is 226 ships. Obviously, we'll have more. And then we should have a couple more as well. 129 ships here, but obviously these are mostly transports. I mean, there's like 24 ships in here. Each of these that are fairly large. I don't think I can get across there yet. I'm going to have them transported. It shows you how weighty these reconnaissance units are. We're building quite a few divisions. Yeah, you can see replacements are heading out to the field now. Sadly not enough supply here to build. Should that only be that size? Should be larger, surely. Yeah, I guess it just needs to recover. Okay. So what we need to do then is be looking for opportunities for a knockout punch. If I recover my men, we can probably do that. But I need to make use of the rail lines. I do believe that the push will probably come upon like Nancy or Toul. I think securing these positions will be quite good. Like Nancy there with the size 9 city, size 1 depot, the fort. It's a good staging point for us there. I don't know. It feels kind of bad bringing so many men from the east, but I don't know. Well, at least I can transfer men like this, so that's quite handy. Alright, there we are. I mean, if I can actually just transfer my men like that's quite hilarious. I don't know, I really do not know what's going to happen. It would be a pretty incredibly cool thing to see. Like if we had to fight the rebels, but I've honestly no clue. Once we are moving away from these rather than deeper. I don't know, maybe... I guess we'll see what happens, really. Whereas I will be the ones to take backblunt. I don't know. Honestly, there's a lot of men there. I mean, we have now... I mean, the Western Entente obviously has been strengthened by the entry of the Italians. But it may cost them more than it's actually gained them. We'll see. I can't move to Trento immediately, but we are going to be pushing the Italians, and I can keep pushing the Italians, especially as additional forces arrive. Sorry, I saw a message from my girlfriend saying about food, so maybe like read food there. If the weather can remain good, that'd be great. It's a little bit further to the south, so I think there will eventually come a winter, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit milder than elsewhere. I'm hoping that eventually there will be a point where I can push here. But we'll see. To be honest, maybe what we could do is have the High Seas Fleet. I don't know if I can get them to the Mediterranean. I'm going to have to run the gauntlet of either Gibraltar or maybe going around. I'm not sure. Well, obviously to get in the... Well, to be fair, I'd have to take the Suez as well and get through here. So I don't think it's likely to happen. I don't think I can get into the Mediterranean without taking a lot of damage. And I don't know how much good that'd do me. Wouldn't really do me any good, would it? So the US is at 85% now. I don't think they'll be joining before the war's over, in fact. Interesting, the Entente is actually trying to gain Denmark. Yeah, I'd like to push, but honestly I just need my men to recover cohesion. They could see... Yeah, cohesion. Just recover the losses taken. Obviously the enemy will recover cohesion and losses as well, but it's about position for the most part. Some fairly elite troops over here. Quite the jump up in caliber there. Yeah, look how elite these guns are, or at least how experienced these guns are. I think really with the French, I've got to widen the front. I've got to be able to widen the front, but also, yeah, just increasing the amount of men I have means I can widen the front, but also retain the ability to press the offensive. Because what I really need to do is I need to be able to press the Entente. Now you can see here there's quite a few French armies, but obviously we're bringing additional armies in too. And the thing is, like, well, he's got these armies spread out covering all this territory here, but I've got my armies relatively concentrated, which means that I can beat him at certain points. Like over here he's got single armies. If I brought, well, when the actual forces from the east arrive, like when Falkenhayn arrives, I could have like a German army corps, well, an army group basically pushing against a single direction, and he may not be able to contain that. And once it begins to unravel, it begins to unravel at a faster pace, really, because as it starts to lose that ability to contain us, we can start moving deeper. But we are moving a lot of men over here. A pretty significant amount of men. And if these positions are actually truly uncontested, then I will take objectives pretty quickly. I mean, having the return of Trieste will be fantastic. I don't know, maybe that may boost if I can Austrian morale. The Germans are doing okay. Yes, we shall see. I do miss having the Dutch East Indies though in terms of state funds. But well. But we do have artillery being produced over here. We've lost a few shells over here, so I wonder if that's due to the fact that these are just... It's represent the fact that these are just shells moving out into the armies once again. Which is probably likely what it is. Oh, Conrad, you've been worse from the start. Yes. Well, we're going to see how it goes, really. I think we bring our forces over and we attempt to drive the enemy before us, really. Because it doesn't have strength everywhere. You can see that it's got strength over here, but this is probably about it. And if I can bring enough forces over here, like if I bring the eastern forces over here, that gives me a couple armies just to hold the line, and then I can just keep on concentrating my force. I've still got armies down here, and if it gives us an inch, we'll take a mile. And in the meantime, the Italians are going to be facing a pretty hefty invasion that is increasing in number. I mean, we've got a few forces on the way already. There's a Austrian army already on the way. That has another 4 corps alongside too. So that is like 8 corps of infantry. There's another corps over here. There's another corps over here. There's quite a few men. Honestly, we had a decent amount of men in the east, but not all that many, really. Comparatively to the size of the front, we didn't have all that many men. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I wish Greece was a neutral. What we have to do now is just put all the pressure on basically France or Italy. I think both, of course. Honestly, anything captured from the Italian forts would be pretty fantastic. But yeah, let's take a look then. So, what is the alignment over here? Alignment is at Entente 100%, but I feel like that may change. I hope it will change, because it would be a bit of a shame if this used to be a Austrian city in the alignment. But then again, I suppose it's one of those, isn't it, really? It was a bit of a mistake in hindsight, but then again, we'd have been fighting the Italians sooner, and I'm not sure how that would change things, but at least we would have had more morale, but who knows. To be fair, I could have potentially produced more men. I could have potentially moved men over here sooner, rather than that. Maybe I should have used it in a diplomat and fought them. It's a lot of things there, really. Yeah. Oh, we have a core here too. So into January of the new year, I believe we'll be able to start producing new tanks. So I probably want to go ahead and save up my state funds, Yeah, producer tanks. I mean, we do have like a pretty good superiority in tanks. Like, we managed to destroy a good number of them. Hopefully we can do that. We're still looking at level 6 entrenchment. He has level 5. So we do have that advantage, really. We just need to continue to attack. We do have another army that moved across. This was previously at Metz. And that does bring more artillery to bear now. Yeah. What I could do with doing really is create another stack like that of Hindenburgs if we could, and having some really meaty offensive armies. But it's the tanks over here that really do give Hindenburg's army the meat. Just need to replace some of the tanks over here, but they've done pretty damn well, I think. I think they've done well. I feel like they've done well. It's hard to really gauge. I've got to assume they've done well. Yeah, we'll see. We're looking at... if I could try and beat him in tech, that'd be very handy. I'm going to really... I don't know, we could try and gain heavy tanks, which would be rather cool, to be honest, I must say. We're looking at about 1 million plus men over here. Obviously that number will increase. Even having this other army over there will make a pretty big difference. Karl von Below. He's a pretty good defensive general now. I wonder why. Yeah, some of these men are fairly experienced, which does help. But now we're looking pretty cool. So, we'll go with that. Thanks for watching there, ladies and gents. Hope you've enjoyed it. I think it's pretty much good to go. I'll just get the turn back from Nomad. But yeah, thank you for watching.